10 years later, he gave everything he had to finally stand face to face with the killer. No one knew the hardships he had endured along the way, and the beginning of it all was merely because he looked at a letter one more time than he should have. It was the late 1960s in San Francisco, a city known for its romance and freedom, yet it had fallen into a nightmare it couldn't wake up from, all because of a serial killer who signed his letters as Zodiac. After every murder, Zodiac would voluntarily send letters to the media. No one knew who he was. Even more terrifying, he always seemed to be one step ahead of everyone, just as the police were at their wits' end. An unremarkable newspaper cartoonist, Robert Graysmith, took notice of that letter for the first time. He wasn't a cop, nor was he a journalist, but he keenly sensed that behind it lay a mystery far more complex than anyone imagined. The deeper he dug, the more he got involved with the star reporter Paul Avery. They became a hunter duo, navigating through public panic, media pressure, and police frustration. But gradually, Paul was consumed by fear. Zodiac personally sent him a threatening letter. He began drinking, spiraling into anxiety and avoidance, and eventually withdrew from the endless chase. But Robert became a different man. The less people investigated, the harder he pursued. The less people believed, the deeper his conviction became. His home turned into a battleground of files and evidence, walls covered with timelines, crime scene maps, and relationship charts. Even his young son could recite the time and location of each case. His wife couldn't take it anymore and left with their child. Through this obsessive effort, he found someone, Arthur Lee Allen, a middle school teacher with a criminal record, a man who wrote with his left hand, wore military boots, and spoke strangely, a man who owned a Zodiac brand wristwatch. But when the police searched his home, they couldn't find any conclusive evidence. The investigation hit a dead end again. Years later, Robert published a book titled Zodiac. He became a best-selling author. One day, Robert walked into a hardware store and instantly recognized Arthur standing in front of him. In that moment when their eyes met, he knew Arthur was the killer. But this long pursuit didn't lead to justice. Just as Arthur was finally being identified, and the trial was about to begin, he died of a heart attack. The case remains unsolved to this day. The horror of the film Zodiac doesn't come from blood or jump scares, but from the unsettling realization some justice may never arrive.